What's going up, guys? It's Chini the Great, and today I just wanted to share some thoughts that I've been having with you guys. Let me just preface this by saying, I just want to talk about how we don't know anything about what we know. And I just want to preface this by saying that this wasn't brought on by any person or any event. This is just actually coming from a really peaceful place, a really happy place. And honestly, I just was thinking, and this just came to me. I don't know why it keeps getting dark. Maybe it's because I'm waving my hands. But this is just, I just wanted to get the camera out and talk to you guys because I just felt like I had something crazy that I just experienced. And, this was all from sobriety, so if I sound like I'm on drugs, then you're probably closed minded. But I'm not on drugs currently. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys what I've been thinking and what I concluded. So we pretty much know nothing about what we think we know. And this is just going to be a long ramble, and if you don't want to hear me talk about that, then click off now. But I'm just chilling in my bed. By the way, I just woke up. Still in my gym jams. Well, I was just thinking about this. For me, anyway, it's easy to say I don't know anything about things I've never experienced. I don't know anything about war, I guess, because I've never been in combat. I don't know anything about owning a business because I've never owned a business. I don't know anything about paying bills because I've never paid bills. So it's easy for me to say I don't know anything about those things because I've never experienced them, and I haven't really cared to study those things. So it's much harder to say I don't know anything about something I've studied my whole life. I don't know anything about something I thought I believed my entire life. I don't know anything about my own life. So that might sound crazy to you, but just think about it for a minute. Sorry, I'm trying to get the best lighting here. SpongeBob pillow. Anyways, okay. But oh, let me give you an example because that might sound just abstract right now and it doesn't make sense, but on a very mild scale, so a very small example of this is me and mathematics. So I've loved math since I was 10, and even then it's not really math, it's just like adding numbers together, which is not math. But in high school, I took double the mathematics requirements of an average student, and I just did that for fun. I just really enjoyed math, and I enjoyed learning it, and I knew that I was probably going to go to school for it, so I took double. Graduating high school, I guess I thought I knew a lot about math. I thought, okay, I knew there was so much more to learn, and I didn't really scratch the surface. But let me put it to you this way. I thought I knew more about math than the average high school graduate my age. And, that could have been true. I don't know. In my school, it seemed true because there was just a handful of us that took that many math classes, you know? And then I got to college and I realized I knew absolutely nothing about mathematics. I didn't really come to this conclusion until about maybe maybe my junior year. I think it was my junior year where I took my first abstract course. So I got past all my calculus, I got past matrix algebra and intro to stats and all that shit. So now I really started to learn mathematics, and I truly believe until you get into calculus, you don't know anything about mathematics. Like, that's pretty standard. You're not learning math, you're learning calculations. But yeah, I thought, by this time I knew a lot of math because I was taking all these adult classes and really learning a lot from these, prestigious professors and stuff like that. But the more I learned that I didn't know anything. And that blew my mind at that time because I just, I thought I knew a lot and I knew nothing. So that's a really small example. By the way, mathematics is insane. Like, I have learned stuff that will warp your mind about, like, stuff you can't even, not just stuff that's, oh, so hard your little brains can't comprehend it. No, I don't mean that by any means. But I mean, like, Stuff that is so hard to wrap your mind around because it's just that crazy. Sorry, my cat just showed up. The stuff we can do with mathematics can change the way you look at the world. It changed the way I looked at the world. Like, it really challenges what you believe is possible. But okay, enough about that. But I discovered that something I've studied my whole life I knew nothing about. And that's a small example. You know, a bigger example is I know nothing about the life I'm currently living. Like, this was the epiphany part. I know absolutely nothing about the life I'm currently living. Not someone else's life, not a life that's crazy different from mine. My own life that I've been living for 22 years. I know nothing about it. And I don't know, you think you know your own way of life, right? You think you know your own morals and your own behavior and your own mind, but you don't. And and I'm not saying this to like piss anyone off, like, yo, you don't know anything, but honestly, think about it. Like, the whole point of this rant is to like get someone to challenge their way of thinking, because it's challenged my way of thinking, and I'll put that in a later video. But right now, let's just talk about not knowing anything, because once you realize that you don't know anything, you're open to everything. So for me, what do I mean about not knowing my own life? I thought I knew the decisions I would make in certain situations. I thought I knew my morals. I thought if I had an opinion my entire life, I was probably really believed in that opinion. I probably was like really for that opinion. I would stand by it no matter what after 22 years of having that opinion. I thought everything that people taught me as a kid would be true when I grew up. Quickly found out that was a lie. If you still think adults always tell you the truth, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, unless you're 9, then you shouldn't believe that, because that quickly is like, not even in a heartbreaking way, like, oh, your parents are always gonna lie to you. Not like that, but like, even just in history class, remember learning about how Indians and Pilgrims were like friendly and shit like that? And then you learned out it was pretty much like a mass killing. But yeah, stuff like that. And I thought since I had an opinion my whole life, I probably understood that opinion and I would always stand by it. But you just learn more. I mean, I think a big part of life is just learning about anything in the world, and studying it and working with whatever you're wanting to learn and stuff like that. Just learning about life or about things in life, that's spans a whole like array of things. Just learning, that's pretty vague, but I think that's what a big part of life is. And if you just take a second to learn about something, I don't know, something you're really, really against, learn about it with an open mind and like go into it without any bias whatsoever. And I'm not talking about politics, so don't get caught up in like, oh, if you think you're a Republican, like, go vote for Hillary. That's not what I'm saying. Like, think about an opinion you've had since you were a child, since as long as you can remember. And now learn about the opposing opinion. Like, thoroughly research it and go into it with an open mind without any biases whatsoever. Like, you're learning about it for the first time and you have no clue what you're learning about. And see if you still feel that way. You might still stand by your own opinion. That's cool. But I guess this was brought on a little bit because I just came across something on the internet and I was reading about it and like learning about it, and I was hearing about it and that made me want to go learn about it more. So then I was reading about it and then I was actively looking up things to see about it. And I just kind of realized like my opinion about that thing was completely wrong, and it's such a normal opinion to have, but it's wrong. And this can be related to things in my own life. Like, there's been several times where I've had an opinion and people just who know nothing about this opinion just assume I'm wrong because they know nothing about it. And like, that's so stupid. And they close their minds off to thinking about it and close their minds off to even like wanting to learn about it or wanting to see someone else's point of view, and of course that gets society absolutely nowhere. But you don't know what's going on around you. You don't know other people's lives. You don't know what goes into a decision and like how people were raised. This can be completely internal and only involve your own mind and your own way of thinking, which is kind of what I wanted to go into. So I mean, although I want you to learn about different opinions and other people's opinions, you don't have to express this, need to learn to anyone else. This is kind of internal. This is an internal thing I want you to realize in yourself. And if you want to keep it to yourself, that's cool. I was watching the YouTubes like you do, watching some videos. And I came across one, and it was just somewhat of a typical video I would watch. And the guy that I was watching was pretty typical of a YouTuber I would enjoy. And I just watched this, like, I don't know, it was like a 10-minute video of just him not trying to be, profound in any way. Just recording himself doing something that he does all the time. Like that. But he said something in passing, and, like, he didn't harp on it. He didn't explore that thought or that statement. He just said something, but that grabbed me. It was just something so normal that just jarred me. And since then, I've just been thinking about, I truly don't know anything. I don't know other people's lives. I don't know. Not everyone has my way of thinking. And once again, I don't mean about politics or about social issues at all, because that's very clear to see people have differing opinions. But I mean their way of life. I approach a new situation that can be scary, I guess, that can go one of two ways. It could be very good for me or very bad for me. I approach situations like that very close-minded, and I get very scared. Like, I have terrible anxiety when it comes to things like that, and I guess I just assumed that although not everyone might have my level of anxiety, but everyone's going to go into that with a little bit of apprehension and be a little bit scared when faced with a situation that could change their lives. And that's not the case. Some people fucking love that, and they'll go into it at peace with themselves without any apprehension and just go for it. And it could be bad or it could be good, whatever. But just that, like, not everyone approaches life the same as I do. That was a big realization for me, like, and I don't know if that sounds conceited, because I don't think many people would ever describe me as conceited or self-centered whatsoever, but I guess that was a closed-minded way of thinking and kind of, like, egotistic, I guess, but just assuming that people approach life the same way as you do, and those who don't are strange. Why am I not the strange one, really? Like, I've been going for about 15 minutes, so I don't know. The whole point of this was to get someone to rethink their way of thinking, I guess, because I want to use this to completely reinvent the way I think, and I want to rethink normal. I don't know, I just want to reinvent my way of thinking, and I think through this I can be at peace, and through this I can then work on my outward self and my outward life and my physical life and my physical, body. And but right now it's really internal, and I just want to get that epiphany across to you guys that we know absolutely nothing. And now that you know that, I hope you can accept that and use that to reinvent your way of thought, and your whole internal being can be changed. And yeah, I'll talk about normal in a different video once I get there, but right now I just had that epiphany and I wanted to share it with someone, and I did. And hopefully, maybe you guys just think I'm crazy, and that's okay, maybe I am, but just like for a day, just like rethink everything you know. And that's what I want to tell you guys today. So I'm gonna go get ready for work because I have to work later, and I'll catch up with you guys sometime. A little bit different video, but stay motivated, stay inspired, and stay happy, and stay weird, I guess. See ya.